Chapter 21. Fucking Australia. Growing up, Joshua got the most sexually charged from the sandy-covered navel of Elle the Body McPherson on the cover of Sports Illustrated, before the magazine started sporting Muslim models in bikinis, screaming, "Stay focused on my Kathy Ireland eyes, infidel." For a native New Yorker, Australian accents never sounded too intrusive in public for Joshua. Unlike stuffy, mole-face conjuring British accents, which always felt for Joshua like someone was sticking their tongue down his throat without him granting them permission. Still, Joshua would always bust his brother-in-law's balls, who grew up in Australia, for his tendency to revert back to his Aussie heavy accent whenever he hit on girls before getting married, because without revitalizing the accent of old, he had zero flirtation game around women whatsoever. Citing your time in San Diego working as a video game tester didn't inspire fetching beauties in the Gaslight District to mount his uncircumcised flap of mound on the spot either. But Joshua would give credit where credit is earned, especially when his now official brother-in-law made a comment at his wedding, stating, "I never knew anyone could love my sister as much as Joshua does." Now, you could also interpret that statement as a backhanded compliment, implying, "I never found the bitch too lovable to begin with." Instead, Joshua interpreted the warm-hearted homage as a moving testament to the power of love. Also, when Joshua had announced to his future in-laws at a restaurant in Park Slope, Brooklyn, about them being engaged to their Aussie reared daughter, before the family was uprooted to Greenville, Delaware, known for its state slogan, "Your Nazi gold is safe with us," you could hear the empty bottle of poison drop after Hitler and Eva Braun croaked on a serving of self-defeat, no longer feeling so masterful against the dying of the light. Still, in spite of the prolonged period of never-ending, infuriating, building silence, after Joshua made the announcement of being engaged to their daughter, and his younger brother showcased his capable inner mensch, raised his wine glass to toast the announcement. Later, he took a friendly bonding stroll with Joshua through the bucolic, brownstone-dominated streets of Park Slope, north of 6th Avenue, toward Prospect Park, Frederick Olmsted's favorite park creation, even more so than Central Park, for all those Ken Burns suck-em-off wannabes at home. And his younger brother even commented on the relief their union brought him, saying, "Falling in love with his sister was great for her because of her being deep into the raver scene prior." Again, Joshua thought this was a very classy touch, knowing the love of his life had a younger brother who cared about her well-being and overall happiness, more than he normally would make you believe. Joshua loved the tour group he met during his trip to the Great Barrier Reef on his honeymoon, after they erupted in laughter from his old bit about them wanting to get married in Australia, but making a compromise, stating, "Babe, assuming we have a boy together one day, instead of hiring a mohel for the circumcision, we'll hire Crocodile Dundee," just so we could hear a room full of Jews say, "Now that's a knife. You can chop it all off with that thing." Before Joshua took a recent trip to London for the first time with his wife Anna, he reached out to Jim Jeffries' manager, accessing his email address on good old imdbpro.com, and emoted about the incredible body of masterful comedic work they've amassed together, inspiring Joshua to exploit his own catchphrase, "Unhuggable cunt," for all it was worth, considering the Aussie funny man's fondness for his serially unapologetic, consistently hilarious use of the word cunt for profitable game. If a wannabe funny man resistor Twitter twat couldn't handle sticking to being a poor man's woke Bill Simmons at Deadspin like Drew Magary, and actually exuded more impactful, jealous-inducing, ha-ha-inducing prose, or palpable, likable gravitas of any kind, Joshua would feel compelled to call him an unhuggable cunt also. Jim Jeffries' manager gave Joshua a very warm response, offering to send his demo stand-up reel to the gatekeeper in charge of the Edinburgh Comedy Festival, where Dennis Leary launched his famed comedy career back in the day. Before he started fashioning himself as a political comic you should give two shits about, like a lesser Nick DiPaolo, minus the millennial Mouseketeer fan base catering, slobbering placation. When Joshua went to Australia on his honeymoon with his pregnant wife Anna, he swears by hearing the hum of the universe as he floated on his back in a brook among the great Daintree rainforest near Port Douglas, tapping into a deep, holy, lost in time when the dinosaurs roamed there back in the day vibrations. Joshua struggled with summoning enough faithful courage to stop fighting against the unnatural act of breathing out of a fucking snorkeling breathing device to prevent you from drowning to death, as he showed a speck of manhood and took a mini plunge into the pristine, clear blue waters of the Great Barrier Reef, taking in a kaleidoscope of God's most colorful fishes and finest finger painting handiwork down under. Similar to when Joshua drove cross country to California his senior year of college for his last semester of school, he didn't want his time immersed in such awe-inspiring, God-decorated, mind-blowing, soul-soothing beauty to end. Joshua will never forget an encounter he had with an older-than-dirt car driver on his honeymoon in Victoria during their stay at a gorgeous Victorian chalet, as Joshua relished reading books in their study from the highly readable English writer D.H. Lawrence, who wrote with actual flowy, accessible, expressive felt feeling. Joshua and Anna were up to some vineyard for lunch, and the writer-driver got a tad huffy confrontational with them during their short drive, saying in so many words, "You'll never make it as a successful writer. I wrote a couple of novels, and I'm driving you around fucking Victoria in a monkey suit to pay my alimony payments as I fight the temptation to drive straight into Mother's Beach right now and take the two of you lovebirds with me." But Joshua was a New Yorker, born and raised, and wasn't going to let any fucking hack Australian dictate what he'd achieve in this world, because most Americans don't even know who Jim Jeffries is. Case closed. Let alone John Safran, the erudite, never been accused of raping his daughter, Aussie alternative yeshiva school version of Woody Allen, who Joshua was more impressed with funny man thought-wise, if he had to choose.